the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Step it up, don't be scared. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't be scared. Step it up, don't be scared.
You're connected with support. How can I help you?
You're picking up the phone pretending that you want to help people, but you really want to rob them.
I want you to understand, legally and federally, I know what type of a time waster you are.
Do you want people to empty their bank account?
Why would you waste my precious time?
We call scammers. And man, they say the dumbest stuff.
Go ahead, please.
Hey, do not call this number again, okay?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Take.
Good morning, CJ, and each and every one.
Yeah, happy 100th.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, can you believe it? We haven't killed each other yet. And we still have some people that watch us after 100 episodes.
I've only lost a couple hundred subs since we started doing this. But,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're 1,000 miles away, so, you know, we haven't killed each other.
Yeah, true. Maybe if we lived in the same town, we would have killed each other by now.
Good morning, Sonic. And the question I get flooded with discords, and I won't mention anyone's name, but I mean, there's been more than 5 or 6. People are always asking me, and sometimes they're commenting on my videos about you, which is fine. But everybody wants to know, where's CJ? What is she doing?
Yeah. CJ is around, but she's having trouble balancing work and streaming and videos and school and exercising and et cetera, et cetera. So okay. I thought it would be easy to stream before work, but it's proven to be too hard because it's too hard to stream. I can't really bait this early in the morning. Now we could do like more morning shows because the time is fine for that, but for baiting, it's not a good time because they're still doing like UK scams right now. They're not doing a lot of US yet. So I can't stream until like 11 or 12, but by that time I have to, I don't have much time because I have to get ready for work. So hi, Sinister Spatula.
So you're okay. You're just you've been doing work and exercising and things like that.
Yeah, mostly I've been doing schoolwork and then go to work.
And schoolwork.
Yeah.
Right. And now the next question would be, when are you going to get rid of all that stuff and get back to what's important?
Right? I know.
Scam baiting.
Every day I think about quitting, but then I'm like, no, I actually have health insurance now. I actually have income, so.
It sucks to be a grown-up.
Yeah, for sure.
But hopefully it's just a short little break.
Yeah, hopefully when I get done with school, that'll be a big game changer, because obviously taking that off my plate will help. But I'm still baiting every day. It's just for short periods. Like I'm just baiting for like 30 to 60 minutes, and it's hard to stream. I mean, I could stream, but I hate to start streaming and then I stream for 30 minutes and that's it. So I haven't really been streaming, but I have been baiting and working on, and I do have some other things I've been working on behind the scenes. Like I do have a call center I'm watching. I have my own server now. I can watch call centers. So I am doing some things, but I'm just haven't been as public with it.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, how did your big paper turn out? Somebody was asking.
Oh, I'm still working on it. I have 2 more weeks to finish it.
How close are you? It has to be 65 pages?
Pages.
10,000 words?
Yeah. I mean, I have all the pages, but I'm just trying to revise it to make sure that I get a passing grade or an acceptable grade from it.
I mean, that's a big thing. That's like half a script. 65 pages. That's a lot.
Yeah, it takes a lot of research. That's why I've been so busy. It's not even just writing the paper. It's because you have to have, on each page has to have at least like 3 references to journal articles. So you have to have like hundreds of research. That's what's taking me so long.
Now, is it true that you're titling this big school report, "Go Ahead, Please"?
That is true. And
all
it's
right.
all
I just wanted
about
to make
take.
sure.
It's all about
I heard
take.
a rumor.
Yeah. It's all about take, and that's why I have to spend so much time researching. Like I've been outside your house with my binoculars and trying to write down everything you're doing.
Yeah. I think if you were doing it on me, it would be like a page and a half. You'd be done.
Also, my VM is not working. I'm trying to get a new VM set up, which means I have to get with Sinister Spatula. If you're still here, I'm about to be bothering you soon to help me reset up my bank. So, that's another reason why I haven't really been streaming my baits, because I've just been on the phone. I've just been kind of doing a TAGOW lately type of style, but not entertaining.
Well, thank you.
I've just been, I've just been basically trolling them for like half an hour, trying to get some reportable information, so.
I need to get one of those dialer systems or something. I mean, I always talk about I can't be blocked, and usually I'm at the mercy of how stupid the call centers are. I find that the Geek Squad scammers I've been dealing with are pretty stupid. Like, it's normally just a bunch of guys like in an apartment or something. But I get blocked sometimes, and then I start making phone calls on the one phone that I use to record. So I can't record it as I'm talking to them. I just go to that number after I'm blocked from all my other phones, and that's when all the good conversations happen. And I'm like, damn, I should have been recording that. That guy just called me Karl Rock like 8 times, and I can't record it.
Yeah. That's why I was telling you should just, I'm at work my computer's just sitting here, you should just connect to my computer. And then you could call yourself on one line and you could dial with the other line on my computer like I do when we're streaming. And it automatically records.
Yeah, I might have to take you up on that because I'm missing out on a lot of good stuff. I mean, it's still important that we mess with them, whether it's recorded or not. But there's a lot of good content that people would like to see that's entertaining that I'm not recording. I mean, I'm spending 6-7 hours a day with these fools, and I'm probably putting out 20 minutes of content from it.
Yeah.
So I definitely need a system of not getting blocked.
Yeah, and I'll take out $5 from your salary I'm paying you for the morning show. Your $100,000 salary to do the
That's
morning
fine.
show. I'll take out $5 for the cost of the calls.
That's fair.
No wonder I have to work so much trying to pay your salary for this show. It's hard.
Well, I don't know where that money is, but I'm sure you're saving it for me. I trust you.
Yeah,
Give it to me in one lump sum.
Yeah. Chester says we're not supposed to let people have access to our computer. That is true. But I might make us a sacrifice for TAGOW so he can mess with scammers.
Yeah, I think she's safe. I'm not asking her, what kind of phone do you have?
Yeah.
No, she's safe.
And yeah, and plus he's not that good at technology. He wouldn't really know how to do anything once you're here. Like, would you really be able to like destroy my computer on purpose?
Not even if that was my goal.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not
Maybe
yet,
by
anyway.
accident you might, but not on purpose.
Anything is learnable, though.
Yeah. By the way,
thank you so much, John.
Yeah, thank you, John, and also thanks, BB. He gave one during the intro, so thank you so much for that. And a few people renewed their memberships. We super greatly appreciate it, especially because last week, what happened last week? Oh, I was supposed to go on a trip to Charleston to see a show, but that's the other reason where I've been. I had a death in the family. So I actually didn't go because we were too upset.
Yeah, that's a good reason, I guess.
Yeah, so I was busy with that last week. I was off for a few days last week, but they weren't happy days. So, of course, I'm not going to stream. But that's what happened last week. So, but we're back, and we have a really good guest this week, so we're happy about that.
The best guest. I mean, this is what we've been saying all along. I mean, there's so many good things about India, and yet we only exploit the very small percentage dealing with these idiots. And we have somebody on the show who lives in India, breathes India, has a passion for India, and it's just an amazing. It's just amazing that he would take the time out of his day to hang out with us in the morning.
Yeah, and he's a super awesome guy. I've hung out with him several times, both in America and India. Thank y'all. Really appreciate the condolences. Wasn't trying to get attention, just letting y'all know where we were last
was it
week.
a close relative? Was it somebody close? I didn't even know about it.
It wasn't someone like close, but it was just a very... we had a child got ran over by a car and killed.
Oh my goodness.
So we were not well because it was just such a tragic situation. So we were dealing with that last week.
That is sad.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't really tell anybody. I just was, But anyway, back to happiness. So,
no, that was not me, Sonic. Sorry, CJ. That was funny. That's what Sonic just wrote. But that's a good idea. But no, I can't take credit for that one.
Yeah. But yeah, Karl is a super nice guy, like for real. I'm not just saying that. We did several fun things when he was in America together. And then when I went to India, we spent like a day together. And he drove me around, drove me to like eat and stuff, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal. But in India, it's a huge deal because driving anywhere in India is like hella nightmare. It's like driving in Manhattan or something. You know, it's quite a sacrifice to pick someone up and drive
He
them
has
somewhere.
a video how to drive in India. It's on YouTube. So go check out his video driving through India. So
yeah, driving through India is horrible. That's one reason why I couldn't live there, because I like taking my drives, listening to music, sitting in my car, like at fast food, you know, driving to a new place. I enjoy that. So you can't do that in India because it'll take you 4 hours to get like 20 miles, you know?
now, when you stayed in, I think you stayed in Calcutta for a little while, right? And also you stayed in Delhi, right?
Yeah.
Now, when you're in your hotel or your B&B, I mean, do you hear horns every 2 seconds?
It depended. I mean, it depends. Like in Calcutta, I didn't really. I stayed at a Howard Johnson, and it was kind of like.
Oh, they got good fried clams there.
Yeah, it was kind
Howard
of.
Johnson.
It wasn't like right along the road. Like it was behind a grocery store, so that's probably why I didn't really hear a lot of horns. But in what?
I mean, I'm watching a lot of Hindi YouTubers. You know, they're teaching you Hindi, and they have serious channels. And no matter how serious the channel, no matter how good their teaching skills are, you always hear the horns every couple seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, it's like, is that just because there's so many people there? Because even in New York City, we don't get horns every 2 seconds. But I hear them in these videos, very professional videos. I hear horns in the background. That's why I was asking. But I guess it depends where you are. Maybe they live right in the city.
I mean, yeah, it depends on where they are. Because in Delhi, I definitely heard horns all the time. But again, the building was closer to the road, you know. So,
now, is Chester joining us today?
I think so. He seems itching to join us.
I mean, I don't think he had time to get any of the news around the world, you know, under his belt, but he's been following that trial, and I have not. So I was kind of hoping to talk to him for a minute just to figure out what's going on with that guy. Is he going to do time? Is it too early? These are questions only Chester Draws has the answer to.
Yeah, I haven't been watching anything, but I did see on the news about how he said he wasn't at the murder scene, but then his son was taking a video of him at the murder scene right before he got murdered, because, you know, the son got murdered. And the father, I guess, didn't know he was taking a video. And in the video, you can hear the father, the one that killed them, supposedly, like you can hear his voice, even though he said that he wasn't there. Dun, dun, dun. So I did see that.
I mean, I'm no criminal mind genius, but he may be guilty in this.
Yeah. Yeah, India, part of the reason why it feels so, it's very populated, but it feels extra populated because the country itself, I know I've said this before, but just in case anyone's new, the country itself, the size of it is about half the United States, and then they have like over three times the number of people. So it's a smaller landmass with triple the number of people. So yeah, it feels very crowded when you're there. There's just like people everywhere. So that's why the traffic is so bad.
A lot of people.
Yep. So, but it's, again, you know, I love India. If it wasn't, the only reasons that I wouldn't live there every day for the rest of my life is 1, the driving, 2, the bathrooms. Other than that, I would live there.
I think things are about to change, and we can talk about that on a different show. But I've been reading a lot of things about India, and Karl probably shed some light on some of the things. But I think it's underway to become a superpower, and I think things are going to change, and you'll have better plumbing and things like that.
Okay, that would be great, because I just
maybe
don't
by the
like,
time you return, you'll be fine.
I refuse to use the hole in the ground. I'm sorry. It's no offense to anyone. I just didn't know how to use it. And then like the last place that I stayed, the Airbnb did not have a shower. It just had a bucket, which is common there, but it was very weird and awkward. So so yeah.
You know, I'm watching a lot of these Indian crime alert shows on this channel called Dangle TV because they have subtitles and you can slow it down a little bit, and it's good if you want to learn some Hindi. But almost every single episode, they're showing these people, and they look like the Brady Bunch. Almost every one of them. Really? They look rich. The houses look beautiful. The bathrooms are immaculate. I mean, I know it's just Bollywood, but I don't think they're really they're hand in hand with what your experience was.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good experience. Just different, but
sure.
Peter did offer to help me shower with the bucket, which I appreciated the offer, but
oh, he's a nice guy. You know what are you gonna do? He's a nice guy. He's just doing what any normal guy would do. He's lending a hand. Let me help you shower.
Yeah.
Let me get those hard to reach spots. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, isn't he though? Okay, let me get ready for Chester. I gotta pull up something.
Yeah, because we got Chester, and then I think my little stupid video is about 14 minutes, and then we want to make sure we dedicate a lot of time to speaking with Mr. Rock.
Yeah. Mr. Rock.
I called those idiots all day long yesterday looking for him.
Did you find him?
No, no. I got a couple FUs, and I'll F your wife and throw her in the street. But
oh my God.
No, they didn't like when I mentioned Karl Rock.
All right. Well, let's get some Chester on the line for some breaking news. See if he'll answer my phone.
Well, thank you so much, Care Bear.
Hi, MK. Hello?
Hello.
MK, say hey.
Okay, so hey.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Why you sound so timid?
Hello?
Are you shy now?
Well, yeah. After I've learned all about the toilets.
Well, that'll do it. That'll do it.
So tell us what you've been up to,
Hello, each and
Chester.
everyone.
You had a week off last week from the show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It's just real life stuff. It's working on an event that's happening in the beginning of May.
Oh, okay. What kind of event? Or is it secret?
It's the one where they... no, it's not secret. It's the coronation.
That crown show.
Yep, that's it. Crown show.
Crown show.
Yep, I knew it.
Crown show.
Yep. And if I don't get a medal out of this, I'm coming to move over to the good old US of A.
Okay, you can. We'll let you. Just
Let me guess. The first state you would settle in is Florida.
Yes. Yep, definitely. I've got Betty Bam Bam. She's going to show me all the best places in Florida where it's always warm and it never rains.
Okay, sounds
But they got
good.
alligators there.
Yeah, and hurricanes. But
Hurricanes.
She tells me it's a beautiful place. So who am I to sort of say it's not?
What's a hurricane?
Yeah, that's the thing. You like tornadoes, but it's only in Florida.
Well, you gotta say it's southern. It's hurricane.
hurricane. Yeah, but I've been practicing my y'all.
Yeah, y'all.
So you should never. The word y'all should never come out of somebody with an accent like yours. Just my opinion.
Okay, fair enough. I'll take your word.
You have that classy language for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've found one bit of news which might help all the men in listening to this, whether live or later on the recording. It's all about a Californian man and how he got off a DUI. Now, I'm not condoning driving under the influence, but this was a pretty good defense. It basically said that the reason why he had to drive whilst under the influence was because it was necessary to escape two angry women after his wife caught him in bed with a neighbor.
And that worked? That's a true story?
It did. It's a true story. It got him off, found not guilty of 2 DUI charges under the act of necessity, as he had to escape 2 angry women.
Wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, so there you go. You can use that excuse if you get pulled over. Be like, CJ was chasing me for her paper, so.
We never condone driving while under the influence, but sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah.
And then that's one of those situations where it's definitely necessary. So good for him. And nobody got hurt, right? He didn't run over a bunch of people or get in an accident or anything, right?
No. No one got hurt. It was just a regular traffic stop.
I tell you what, I don't drink a lot, and I've been through a couple of DWIs here in New York, and they don't play around.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time I was done doing all of the tests, I really felt like I was drunk. I mean, they were almost convincing me that I was driving drunk. You know, you got to count backwards from 100 and touch your nose, and I'm freezing, and I kept putting my hands in my pocket, and the cop starts yelling at me like, "You put your hands in your pocket, you're going downtown." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." So those DWI checks are no joke. They will make you feel drunk, even if you're not.
Wow.
But in order to prove the act of necessity, you have to show that you acted in an emergency to prevent significant bodily harm or evil to himself or someone else. So 2 angry women coming after you, yep, that tick. He had no adequate legal alternative. Well, I don't think there are any buses running, so that's okay, tick. The driving under influence section is with a blood alcohol. It's quite a low 0.11. So it's not a question of you're absolutely falling over. It's you're over the limit, but it's at a low level. And a reasonable person would have also believed that driving under influence with that level of alcohol was necessary under the circumstances. So you've got to find a witness, probably another male, to say that 2 angry women coming after you, it was definitely necessary to drive. But again,
things could happen. He did the right thing.
Yeah.
Can you blame him? I mean, things get cut off in situations like that. You always hear about those horror stories.
Yeah.
So good for him. He got away safely. No one got hurt, and he's not doing time.
Yep.
What if you're in
he
labor?
only drove 200 meters away and then fell asleep, and that's when the police found him.
Oh.
Half naked in his car, 200 meters away, fast asleep.
Just a Wednesday here in New York.
Yeah. Are you allowed to speed? Are you allowed to be drunk and speed away if you're in labor?
I think you'd get away with it. Absolutely. And there's times when I don't move around, I look like I'm having twins, people say, so maybe I can get away with that.
No.
But people should know, though, like, I mean, you get pulled over after you've drank 2 beers within an hour, chances are you're getting a DWAI or a low point of a DWI, whatever they call it. I mean, you really need to take your time because not only do people think that they're fine to drive after they've had a 6-pack and they say, oh, I'm fine, but there's a lot of people out there that will just drink a few drinks at dinner and then 3 hours later get pulled over at one of these checks and get a DWI. It's not worth it.
True.
Just to wait an hour after each drink. If you've drank 2 beers, wait 2 hours. I mean, I learned that in health.
Yeah.
The only thing I've learned in 8th grade, you wait. Time heals everything. Coffee does not help. That's an urban myth.
Yeah, I agree.
So I just want to sort of say, Sarah and Neon family, I was just kidding about on emails being believed. But again, don't drink and drive. That's the message. That's the important message.
Inspirational words from Chester Draws this morning.
Unless you're in labor, but then there's other issues there. You shouldn't be drinking if you're pregnant, is my understanding, right?
Call an ambulance. Well, in the States at the moment,
if you're drunk and pregnant, call an ambulance. Don't drive.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Right. Another bit of news for you. From Dillhole, this is live breaking news. The fuse on the cherry bomb failed before he could blow up for Turkey. So he's going to give it another try this evening. So, Dill, I know you're in chat. Look forward to the Exploding Turkey project video.
Yeah, Dill's got some funny videos on his channel. I mean, there's a reason why he's posting videos of blowing up wasps in his backyard and traveling through New Orleans and stuff. And he's last time I checked, he was almost 800 subscribers. He's got something going on that channel, so people need to go check him out. And you'll learn how to kill some wasps safely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about safely. Anything explosive in Dill's hand.
My big thing in that Dill video when I watched it was the cat's reaction, and thank goodness the cat got away safely. But it was just a great video. Took out a lot of wasps. Sorry for all you wasp lovers, but it is what it is.
Yeah. They're running out of mailboxes. He keeps on exploding them. As someone would say. We look forward to your next video, Dill, whenever that's going to be. And please don't explode anything near cars or other things that can get damaged.
Yeah, no, get the cats out of the way. Because if any cats get hurt in these projects, you'll have an angry mob after you. You will have to speed away drunk.
It probably wouldn't be the first time. We're talking to Dill.
Yes, this is the 100th episode.
Yes, it's 100 years. 100 episodes. Yes. Congratulations, CJ and Take. 100 episodes.
Well, thank you very much.
And
couldn't have made 100 without you.
Yep, it started with you. You were our first one, and you're still here.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for payment. But anyway,
are we all?
Get in line.
If you do break into CJ's computer, can you find out where she keeps the Dunkin' coupons and grab them as well?
I should be on top of that. I think I can learn how to do that by maybe next year at this time. So get back to me.
Right.
And I'm afraid to look through CJ's computer anyway because she gets all those naked pictures from those Indian scammers. So I don't need to see that stuff. I've already seen it. I'm already scarred.
Yeah, I
used to send them.
I used to send them to you, but you didn't seem to like it too much, so I stopped.
I was on the phone with a Vitality scammer the other day, and I said, "Can you make me as big as some of those scammers?" But she wouldn't let me text her a picture of the one you sent me.
Do you mean the Richard pictures?
Probably.
Richard.
Also,
yeah, it's all Richard in those pictures.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Richard.
So, give us an update on the trial, Chester. Have you been watching it?
Yeah.
Tell us what the findings are.
The prosecution have rested their case now, so it's now in the hands of the defence. It's something like 20 days of prosecution witnesses so far. It's 59 witnesses, 400 exhibits of mainly circumstantial evidence, because that's all there is. But there's, as you quite rightly pointed out, there's lots of circumstantial evidence about was he at the scene, wasn't he at the scene. You had that social media post. Now they're sort of going through looking at they did last week, the cell phones and things like that, which the experts put him at the scene. The other thing, they've still not found the murder weapons as such, but they've come up with, or firearms and ballistics experts have testified that the shotgun rounds that were found near his wife's body were cycled through the same rifle that fired rounds at the family's home and shooting range, meaning she's likely to have been killed by a family weapon. And the spent rifle cartridges, as well as the 12-gauge shotgun shells found near the son's body, were also the same type and manufacturer brand as ones found in his home and outbuildings. So there's some compelling evidence there that he claims that the rifle, which belonged to his son, was lost or stolen around Christmas 2020, but witnesses have recalled shooting it with the son 3 months prior to the killing. So there's a lot of, conflicting information going there. One of the other things, the FBI drove a vehicle at high speed in order to discount his alibi, and it showed that if he left the scene of a crime and drive at speeds around 80 miles an hour, he could have got to his parents' house, stayed there for a little while, get his phone pinged on the cell phone mast there, and then drive back. So
why would he do that?
Lots of conflicting. If you look, basically, he was saying that he couldn't have been there. He was at his parents'. So the prosecution case, as I understand it, is that he murdered his wife and his son, turned his phone off, drove to his parents' house at speed, turned his phone off, turned his phone back on, left it recording there or something or other, and then drove back. And then that's when he reported the murders to the police. That's when he drove the 911.
So,
I mean, he's basically saying it. He was at his parents' house, and he couldn't have been him at the murder scene at the time that the prosecution are alleging.
So the FBI drove the distance, you're saying, 80 miles per hour to say that he could do it?
Yes.
And he's saying there's no possible way I would drive that fast. Not even if I was drunk and pregnant.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and he had his cell phone off. So,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody turns their cell phone off for a short period of time, though. But I mean, again, it's circumstantial. So if it's off, it's off. But that's making him look guilty in my eyes.
Yeah, as I say, it's a whole raft of circumstantial evidence added to which the money worries or allegations that he'd been stealing from his. He's an attorney, so from his company, some embezzlement going on. So there's a whole raft of circumstantial evidence that has been presented.
Well, it was. So, what do you think, Chester? Do you think he did it?
He's innocent until proven guilty by a jury of his peers. But yes, is the answer to your question.
Dang, you should be a politician sometimes. Your answers are so politically correct.
Yep. You got to filter.
Well,
yeah.
If Mr. Prickly for president was around, I mean, he buys my votes on a regular basis, so that's where I learn it all from.
There you go. By the way, thank you so much, Raz, for those super chats. Like,
so
that's
nice of you.
So very kind of you, and we really, really appreciate it. You know, that's.
And if the button got stuck because they were back to back or something happened, don't be bashful. We'll give it back. I mean, two
like,
in a minute is so kind.
Yeah,
it's always kind. Anything's kind, but 2 in a row, come on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thanks for all the memberships, everyone. Really appreciate it. And all the mods, thank you. Just wanted to interject that. But awesome. Well, we're almost out of time, Chester. Sorry. I know we took up the whole time talking about drunken driving and South Carolina murderers, but
yeah.
Those are important things. DWI, drunk pregnant woman, and Murdoch trial.
So,
Absolutely.
Chester, one more question about the trial. What do you think of having those dogs in the cages like that? Because I personally felt sad. I know they're hunting dogs, but why do they have to live in those cages all the time?
I'll find out for you.
Yeah.
I'll try and find out for you.
They have a whole house of these dogs in cages that they use for hunting.
I guess they're just working dogs rather than, and that's the equivalent of a kennel. But I don't know why they would keep them like that.
Yeah. Yeah, find out more about hunting dogs and are they happy in the kennel? Okay. Or do I need to sneak down and like open the gate and let them free? That's what I need to know. Since I'm in that area,
well,
let me know.
They'd be hunting you down.
Yeah. No, they would be so grateful to me that they would hunt anyone else that tried to, and they would hunt scammers for me because they would be so grateful.
Yeah. Well, I'll take your word for that. Yeah, Miss Chatterbox, long time. Haven't seen you in a while, so welcome back. Apologies if I've missed you in chat, but nice to see you. And I will leave you because you obviously need to take break and that very important VIP, Mr. Karl Rock.
Yeah. Very excited.
Well, thanks for coming on. I know it was an interesting chat, but we appreciate you. And thanks for 100 episodes, Chester.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
What can I do one and only one dad joke?
Please.
Yes.
Yeah. What does a Chinese janitor yell when he comes out of a closet?
What?
Supplies.
Awesome.
Apologies.
You have to know Chinese in order to understand that joke.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, anyway, good guys, one. All right, bye, bye.
I've got to go. So have a take break now. Thank you, everyone. Please stay safe. This is Chester Draws, special roving reporter for WSCAM, the 100th anniversary morning scam show. Look after yourself and look after each other.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, man. Cheers, mate. All right, go have a biscuit.
Well hard.
Grab a biscuit. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I hung up on him. Sorry. He was mid-bye when I hung up. Sorry, Chester.
He's all right. He's
That was an
got more
accident.
important people than us to talk with. He's got the Queen and the King waiting for him, and Prince and all that.
Actors and actresses.
All that crown nonsense.
Yep. Okay, well, let's take our take break, and then when we come back, we will be on with Karl Rock. Hopefully.
I have to talk with him to believe it. Hopefully, we'll be back with Karl Rock.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir. We just missed your call, and I just called you back from my number. How can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I'm looking for Karl Rock. Is Karl Rock there today?
Sir, what you are looking for?
You're in India, right? I'm looking for this man. His name is Karl Rock.
Karl Rock.
Yep. He does a lot of videos on YouTube.
So we can't help you with this.
You can't help me with that, right? What can you help me with?
Sir, I can't help you with anything.
Right. You can help me out of my money, right?
I don't know, sir. Oh.
I suggest you get a job and stop this nonsense. Don't you say goodbye?
Thank you for calling PayPal. Sir James, how may I help you?
Hey, James, I was on hold. I was waiting to speak with Mr. Rock. Karl, I think his name is Karl Rock?
Karl Rock?
Yeah. Yeah, he does a lot of videos on YouTube. He shows the good part of India because there's a lot of scams that come out of there, you know. But his videos show, like, the good parts of India, and I was hoping to speak with him today.
You asshole.
I'm sorry?
Thank you for calling PayPal. This is James. How may I help you?
Hey, James, I was waiting to speak with Karl Rock. Did you find that man yet?
Fuck you, you asshole.
Oh, why are you so mad? James, that's not nice at all. All right, I'll call you right back. Gandu, are you there?
Hey, Gandu, you are Gandu, you know?
Tamada Asinam Kahe, you've never gave me your name.
Why we are going to give your name?
Well, you know my name.
Karl Rock, yes.
Why do you keep saying that? Do I sound like Karl?
Yes, Karl Rock.
Can you pull up a video right now of his and watch it? I don't sound anything like the man.
Really?
I mean, it's too bad you don't know what you're talking about. I would take that as a compliment because his Hindi is amazing. He lives in your country. I'm from New York. Are yaar, Bevakoof, you really are stupid. You're about to get exposed. You're about to get caught. You're just too stupid. Go get a job.
Fuck you.
Anything else?
Gandu, Bosuri ke.
Anything else?
Mr. Karl Rock, hang up the call.
I really take that as a compliment, but this is not Karl. Midanam Raj Patel, hey. Don't you say goodbye?
Thank you for calling Amazon Sports. My name is Kevin. How can I help you?
Kevin, put that man on the phone. I'm tired of playing games with you. Put that man on the phone. Been waiting to speak with him. Where is Karl Rock?
Can you please explain me, sir, like what's going on?
There's a lot going on. Can I trust you? I don't know if I can trust you.
Yes. Just explain me, sir, like what's going on.
This is between me and Mr. Rock. This is between me and Mr. Rock. Now put Karl on the phone. I know he's there.
Okay, hold on.
Hurry up. Make me wait. I'll call you right back. I don't have time to wait.
Thank you for calling Amazon. How can I help you?
I'm waiting to speak with Karl Rock. Where is Karl? Put that man on the phone. Don't bogart that man. Put him on the phone.
Thank you for calling in Amazon support. This is Henry. How can I help you?
Henry, that Rundy's on the phone with one of my friends right now. Scamming you guys. You guys aren't making any rupee today. Now put Karl Rock on the phone. No time for games. Hurry up.
Hello, sir.
Hurry up.
No, sir, this is not a scam. This is Amazon support.
Oh, shut up. You're embarrassing yourself right now. Tumhara asinam kya hai?
I just want to know, sir, with whom were you talking?
Fake Amazon scammers. How low can you get? Are your parents proud of you? Jawab do, Chuthia.
So if you think this is a scam, why you are calling us again and again?
That's exactly why I'm calling again and again and again, because you're sitting there hurting people. Don't you ever feel bad about what you're doing? How stupid are you that you think it's...
Shut up, motherfucker. Yeah, hang up the call.
Oh, if I hang up, I'm going to call you right back. Pretty sure that's not Amazon.
Customer service, this is Edward. How can I help you?
Edward, listen to me. Where's Karl Rock? I can't keep going back and forth with you guys all day. Put that man on the phone. Thank you. Hurry up.
Sir, may I know to whom you were talking to?
I don't know who I've been talking to. I'm looking for Karl Rock. Where's that man? Where's Mr. Rock?
Mr. Rock.
Yep, Karl Rock.
Let me see if I can find any hint by the name.
Karl Rock.
May I know what happened?
What?
May I know what happened with your case? Can you tell me?
I don't know who you are. Can I trust you? Who are you? Tumhara asli naam kya hai?
Sir, my name is Varun. I have no idea what you are talking about.
Kya kaha? What'd you say your name is?
Thank you for calling Amazon support. My name is Justin. How can I help you?
Justin, I've been on hold forever. I'm waiting to speak with Karl Rock.
Who is Karl Rock?
Everybody knows who that man is. You don't know who that man is? You better ask somebody, but I need to speak with him.
No, sir. No, sir, I don't know who is Karl Rock.
Yeah, you don't know too much, do you? All right.
I don't know, sir.
I'll call back and speak to another Gandu, okay? Sorry to bother you. Mujhe maaf kar do. All right, for Milinge. Hang up the phone. We're done.
Thank you for calling Social Security Administration. How may I help you today?
Aade yaar, mother chod. Aur Akbar. Mera naam Raj Patel hai. Aap kaise hai?
Pivogi.
Who?
Jim Brownie.
Oh, you know those guys? Yeah, you know those guys?
Yes, yeah.
You love them?
They are my inspiration.
They're your inspiration, yet you're sitting there pretending to be an SSA employee. Can you explain that? How does that make sense?
You don't know the reason behind that. Like, what's my problem? What's my family problem?
Well, everyone's got problems. It doesn't matter, though. You could have the worst family problem ever. It doesn't make sense that you would scam people and hurt other people. How is that fair? Don't you say goodbye?
Thank you for calling Social Security Administration. How may I help?
Are yaar. Is Karl Rock there today?
Thank you for calling Social Security Administration. This is Daniel. How can I help you today?
Hi, Daniel. I was talking to somebody before, and he called me Karl Rock. I'm very confused. Do you know who that is?
I don't know, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me neither. Tumhara asli naam kya hai?
Sorry?
Oh, are you sorry for pretending to be an SSA employee? Why are you sorry? Tell me why you're sorry.
Why would I pretend to be SSA employee, sir?
I don't know what goes through your mind, Gandu.
Saying, sir.
I don't know what goes through your mind. You're sitting there doing it. You tell me.
Thank you for calling Social Security Administration. How may I help?
Are yaar. We got disconnected before. You were starting to tell me some things. Go ahead, please. Talk to me.
The number you have trying, it's currently switched off. Please try again later.
Oh, Gandu. You're funny, little fuck. You want to talk to me or not? I guess not.
Thank you for calling support. How may I help you?
Hi, is this security?
We do support security, sir. What happened?
Listen, there's something going on over here, and this lady's letting her tiger and her cheetah roam around the property. She's not supposed to do that. I want to hire you guys to be security.
First of all, you have to calm down and talk slowly. Okay? Can you tell me what exactly happened?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so the lady next door, she's very quiet and peaceful, and she minds her own business, but she's got all these great big cats, like lions and tigers and pumas and cheetahs, and they're roaming around the property, sir. One of these guys gets out, and I'm done. You know, he's looking at me like I'm a T-bone. You can't help me? I can't hire you guys?
Hold on.
Hold on for what?
Which lady are you talking about, sir?
Her last name is Simpson.
Is working on... You are getting a problem on the computer, or where is the problem? Can you tell me what exactly happened?
There's a big problem on the computer because every time I'm sitting at the computer, I got these big cats looking in my window, and these scammers don't stop calling me. Hold on, I'll call you right back.
Sir?
Hello? This better be good. Can I help you?
Yeah, hi, sir. This is Michael from Amazon. We missed a call from this number.
Yeah, I'm on the phone right now. I'm looking for somebody. Maybe you can help me. His name is Karl Rock. Do you know Karl? Karl Rock?
Well, I have to check for that. Either you can tell me, I can help you, sir. What's the concern? You can tell me that.
Like
so I can help you.
he's a big YouTuber. He lives in India, and sometimes he does some scam baiting videos and things like that. I thought everybody knew him over there. Like, where are you? Are you in Calcutta or Delhi?
What's the name, sir, you're telling me?
Karl Rock. R-O-C-K.
Karl Rock.
Yeah. Altum, तुम्हारा असली नाम क्या है?
And who is that person, sir? Can you tell me that?
I'm going to talk with him tomorrow, I hope. I'm hoping to talk to him right now. Can you put him on the phone? I know he's there.
Do you have the number for that?
I have your number, and then you just called me back. Are you following me?
No, sir. Well, I just received a call, so I dialed the number.
Oh, my goodness, Gandu. I suggest you get a job. You are ridiculously stupid. Like, really stupid.
Okay? You dialed the wrong number, I guess.
I dialed the dumb fuck. I dialed the dumb fuck who thinks he works at Amazon. Get a fucking job, loser. You sound ridiculous.
No, sir.
Bebakoof, you know it's true. You know it's true.
Can you tell me what's your YouTube channel name, sir?
Cap and Greasy Boltehe, I really feel like you don't know English.
I'm saying, can you tell me your YouTube channel name, sir?
Tumhara asli naam kya hai? Tumhara asli naam kya hai?
I don't know, sir. Can you tell me once again?
I said, Tumhara asli naam kya hai?
I'm saying that. Can you tell me your channel name, sir?
Well, you didn't answer me. Tell me your name. Aapka shubh naam.
Can you tell me your channel name?
I can tell you that.
As well.
I can tell you that, but I want your real name first.
Fine, sir. Bye for now. If you don't want it, so it's okay.
I'll call you right back. I got 1,000 phones.
No. If you can tell me your name.
Mera naam Raj Patel hai. Samjha? You're a fucking loser for hurting people like this.
Bye for now, sir. Hello?
Hello?
Yes. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I had to take a break for a minute. Mujhe maaf kar do. I'm back now, though. What's going on? Naya kya hai?
You're Karl, right?
Who?
What's your name?
Kya kaha?
What's your name? You're Karl, right?
Yeah, no. Mera naam Raj Patel hai. Aur tum? Tumhara asli naam kya hai?
Your name is Karl.
My name is who?
I know you, bro.
No.
I know you. Your name is Karl, right?
No, he's got a New Zealand accent. You can't tell the difference between an American accent and somebody from New Zealand? I'm not Karl Rock.
No. I know you, bro. I know you. I've seen you somewhere.
Right. Maybe you saw me somewhere, but I'm not Karl Rock.
No, you are. Trust me, bro. I can recognize your voice. Your name is Karl, right?
We went through all that before, though. No, my name is not Karl. Mera naam Raj hai.
Oh, tumhara naam Raj
hai? Raj, R-A-J. That means king in your country, I believe.
Raj.
Right, Raj.
Raj Verma.
Aur tum? Aapka naam kya hai?
Raj.
Bebakoof? Tedabap? What's your name?
Oh, mera naam.
Hey, you guys are having a good time today, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no victims, though. No victims, but what are you doing, playing cards?
Yeah, playing cards.
Playing cards, listening to some Diljit Dosanjh?
So we are here at the beautiful Bay of Islands. There's about 100 islands, yeah. And we are going on a 24-hour overnight.
This is you, right?
No, that's not me. That's not me.
That's you, bro. Hey, I thought you.
No.
Ram.
You really think my Hindi's as good as Karl Rock's? Oh my goodness. Bohat Donyavad. I mean, I'm only basic. I'm learning from you guys, but I don't speak like that, man. How could you say that? Don't you say goodbye? Nice compliment, though.
Mr. Karl Rock, hang up the call.
You are connected with support. How can I help you?
You're picking up the phone pretending that you want to help people, but you really want to rob them.
I want you to understand, legally and federally, I know what type of a time waster you are.
Do you want people to empty their bank account?
Why would you waste my precious time?
We call scammers. And man, they say the dumbest stuff.
Go ahead, please.
Hey, then I'll call this number again. Okay?
we are back
Yeah,
with
how are you
two
managing to deal with
Karls.
this?
It's it's pretty rough. Take, are you there?
I am right here. What's up, Mr. Rock? How are you?
Yeah.
Namaskar, dosto.
Hi.
We're back with.
Hi, namaste. Take, you have spent a lot of time learning Hindi, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we're live yet, but maybe we are. But I definitely want to talk to you either live or after the show. I've been reading your How to Learn Hindi Faster Than I Did. I'm having trouble. I'm in New York, and I need like an in-person tutor. So we'll talk about that after, so we don't bore everyone. But I mean, your Hindi is impeccable, and I've watched you progress, obviously, over the last 3 years. So anything's learnable. And I've been dedicating 4 to 5 hours a day of studying and watching Bollywood soap operas and things. So I'm trying.
Yeah, I can tell from listening to you. I can tell from listening to you, and you're totally right. A tutor is the way to go at some point, and that point's probably now anyway.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to learn Hindi, Karl?
I haven't learned Hindi. You know what I mean? Like, I've been trying for years and years and years. Like, learning a language is just a long, long process of becoming fluent. The best way to do it is, you've seen like English as a second language students who have come to live in the US or come to live in New Zealand, people who aren't native English speakers. They go to an intensive English school and they study it full time for like 1 to 2 years, and that gets them to a really good stage. But there's no school like that for Hindi anywhere in the world where you could study full time in Hindi. So that's a real downer for me, because I'd love to just go and do it intensively like that. So I haven't learned it fully. I'm definitely not fluent, but I can speak enough to get around in India and to chat with my family and my relatives. But I really want to improve. I'm just looking for that Hindi school that can, where I can study full time.
It's such a surprise. I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm in New York. I mean, and if I want to learn Arabic, I can learn Arabic within 6 weeks, or so they say. I can go to a very intensive school that the either FBI or the U.S. government sponsors, or they'll take your money. Obviously, I shouldn't say sponsor, but Hindi, like, if you Google the important languages to learn right now to do business, they would say Hindi, Chinese, and an American. And you can't get a good Hindi teacher anywhere, is my understanding, in the United States. I can't seem to find a class. I'm surrounded by colleges. I'll pay the money. Anybody who knows me knows I don't have a lot of money, but I'm financially secure when it comes to learning Hindi or saris. I mean, I'll spend the money. I just can't find a teacher. So hopefully you can hook me up with maybe an online Skype type of situation for now. Somebody that is reputable that won't scam me.
You would have to come to India, to be honest, if you want to study it full time. There are some schools here. It is possible when I have tried, but when I tried to go full time, the COVID lockdown started. So yeah, that got put on hold. But yeah, it is possible, but you're going to have to come to India, bro.
Yeah. Go to India.
That seems like be the logical solution. Just you want to learn something, you just immerse yourself with the culture and the people, and you're kind of forced, I think, to learn certain things. And I think even in one of your videos, you kind of made reference to what I'm kind of dealing with. Like, I learned from Google Translator or like a language app, and it's not really the real Hindi. People won't understand you. And obviously I'm dealing with scammers who don't like you to learn any Hindi, and no matter what you say, they'll say study, like they don't understand you. So that's not a good temperature gauge of if I'm learning or not. But I'll talk to somebody who speaks Hindi, and they'll be like, what are you saying? So you really need to be around people to learn the real language, is my understanding. You can't learn it all from books and apps, because it's not the real language that people are speaking.
Right.
Yeah, the hardest thing is the pronunciation. So there's 4 or 5 letters that we aren't used to pronouncing some of these letters. It's as simple as that. And there's 4 or 5 important letters that you need to learn to pronounce. And if you don't learn those, it'll really inhibit native speakers being able to understand you. They can put it together in their brain. They can go, oh, he's trying to say that. But yeah, better to learn pronunciation. And the only way is doing it in person with a native speaker.
Right. Yeah, I'm almost like there's some scammers that'll say, "Oh my goodness, your Hindi's so good," and I'm like, at the end of the conversation, I'm like, I wonder if they're just wasting my time because they think that I'm some big scam baiter, and their boss is telling them to keep me on the phone while they do other things. But meanwhile, they're pulling my leg and they're saying my Hindi's so good, and I'm getting a big head. But then later on, I'm thinking maybe they were just scamming me and they weren't telling me the truth. Maybe my Hindi's not that good. But I do stay away from a lot of the words that have R in it. So rolling the R's is very tough.
Yes.
But we'll talk about Hindi privately more because I know we're limited time, and you have an amazing story, an amazing channel. People are here to really understand who you are. I mean, I've watched your progression. I think I watched you before I even watched any scam baiting video. And then when we got into scam baiting, CJ and I we're always saying that, you know, India is so amazing. There's so many good things there. There's so many good people there. We expose the bad part, but it's so easy to hate rather than love. And people will watch our videos and think that represents all of India. And we always direct them to people's channels that we've had former scammers on that have channels that show the good parts of India, and that's kind of what your channel is dedicated to. It's like kind of like a you're all over the place, right? I mean, is that kind of what got you started? You just have a passion for India, and you want to show people how wonderful it is?
Yeah, it's exactly that. I've had a passion for India since I was a kid. Ever since I ate Indian food for the first time, and I started discovering India through the food in New Zealand, in my home country, and it just progressed from there into Bollywood, into Hindi, into making Indians friends, and then finally into moving to the country that I wanted to be in, and that was India. And when I stepped foot here, I knew it was the right place for me. And so on my channel, I show both sides of India, okay? Like, I show the good and the bad, and I think that's what people appreciate about my channel. It's real, and I'm showing my personal experience. You meet my family. I take you to the villages of India, and yeah, I show the good and the bad. I don't just kiss butt and, you know, show the amazing side. But it's very easy to show the amazing side because India is incredible, and I love making those videos as well. I've got an entire series just showing the incredible side of India. But, you know, then I've delved deep, really deep into scam call centers here. Like, I've done some pretty thorough investigations of them too, because they kept calling my parents back home in New Zealand. Once a week, we get a call from these guys. And eventually my grandmother got a call and got scammed. And that's when it got really personal for me. And that's when I said, okay, I've been covering scams on a street level to help tourists avoid scams here in India. So now let's move into the call centers, because this is a massive issue around the world. And yeah, that's when I just started going deep into that. And you would have seen, I don't know, 20, 25 videos, different types of investigations into scam call centers around India. Actually, I've been to West Bengal. I've covered them in Delhi, where I live. You know, the first video of mine that went viral was a collaboration with Jim Browning. And that call center was 500 meters from my house where I am right now, literally.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and there you have a video which I loved. I haven't watched it in, I don't know, over a year or two, so I don't remember everything about it. But you were actually playing a scammer, and you were interviewing for a scam call center position, right? And I mean, you were speaking Hindi with the lady. They were recruiting you to work in a call center, right?
Yeah, I found out how these scam call centers recruit people here in India. And I just showed up for a job via the phone and took the interview and put it into a video and found out where these recruiters were. And yeah, they're 1 kilometer from my house, literally. And yeah, I just showed how easy it is for the police to find these recruiters and find out how they're recruiting people for these scam call centers.
Now, it's definitely a big problem there. And I go back and forth with this, with myself and with other baiters and with people that leave comments on videos. I mean, India is not as underdeveloped as a lot of people in the world might think, right? I mean, there are jobs there. The people that are doing this are doing it because this will pay them more and they want more. They're not doing it to survive, right? They're doing it and they can get away with it because it's corrupt. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just guessing, based on kind of what I've read or seen. It's very hard to catch these little buggers, and they don't have any fear.
Yeah,
Is
so
my understanding.
Yeah, so the kids working in the call center, they're generally young kids, teenagers, early 20s. I think there's two groups of workers. There's the greedy ones who just want to make as much money as they can and they don't care how. And that would be the majority of them, because a call center job can pay around usually it pays around 25,000 rupees a month, plus bonuses for every single person you scam. So you can end up earning, I don't know, maybe up to $1,000 American a month, which is great.
Right.
And then like comparing that to like a normal, like a legitimate call center job, you might be on 20,000. So, and plus you need a lot of experience just to work in a legitimate call center. To work in a scam call center, you don't need any experience. They will literally take anybody as long as they can read the script in front of them that's in English. But that's the majority, I think, of the kids that are working there. They're just a little greedy. And then the second lot of people, they're in it because they're in a bad situation in life. They have some kind of medical bills to pay. Maybe their mum's sick. I've heard this one before. My friend's mum was sick and he had to pay, well, not my friend, but a guy I interviewed. He had to pay his mum's medical expenses. And so he would do anything to help his mother, right? Even working in a scam call center. So there's a minority of people who have these big issues, and this is one way for them to earn. But I think most of them are just greedy and want to earn as much money as possible.
And I mean, you've made comments in some of your videos. I mean, you pleaded with the government to do more. Are they starting to do more there about this type of thing?
Yeah, they have been. They have been. I have seen a massive difference since everybody started making these videos and it started becoming, you know, an international issue and people started raising awareness about it. The government does take note and the police have taken note, and over the last, I can say 2 to 3 years, we've seen a massive increase in police action against these call centers. The unfortunate part of the story is the cases usually fall over in court. Yeah, so India has a very low conviction rate for cybercrime in general. A lot of people get away with cybercrime because the case falls over in courts, basically.
Why is that?
I'm not exactly sure. It's probably, you know, every country in the world is struggling to get IT staff and struggling to get more cybercrime investigators, right? So there's probably just not enough investigation skill here to properly build the case and pass it off to the prosecution. Yeah, I'd probably say it's just poor evidence collection.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
so,
that's just a guess, though. I don't know the exact reason.
Do you think a lot of it has to do with, like, I mean, we've had ex-scammers on the show before that said that they were busted before, and the cop said, you know, you pay me $500 American, and it never happened. Is that a big problem? Like, are the cops underpaid, and there's just so many people? Like, does that have something to do with it, do you think? Like, of why there's so much corruption, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's a hard life as a cop. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Right. And of course, it trickles down. I mean, the cops have issues, and they have family problems, and then it's like, okay, I can make an extra $500, look the other way. They start doing the bad things. So it's a problem.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people really feel sympathy sometimes for some of these criminals that ruin lives, because they think, oh, well, they're so poor, and they might see like a video of an Indian village, but I mean, India's not that poor, right? My understanding is they're going to be a force in the next few years. They're becoming the 6th largest economy in the world, right? You've made videos about the metro system is so advanced and it's very developed in a lot of places.
Yeah, it is developed in a lot of places, but you know, like over half the country isn't living in these big developed cities, right? half the country is living in the rural areas, and they live very differently to us here in the city, and they don't have all the facilities that us city folk do. So, yeah, there's kind of two different sides of India, you could say.
Yeah, and I think you've been to, well, I think you've made your goal, right? Wasn't your goal to see every single state, every single union, plus Pakistan and Bangladesh? I mean, you've been everywhere in that country.
Yeah. My original travel goal was to visit every single state and union territory in India, but then also travel across undivided India before partition. So that would include Bangladesh and Pakistan as well. And I've kind of done that. So I've seen, I guess you could say, kind of all of India. And I've been lucky. So I married my wife, Manisha, here in Delhi. And I get to go and spend a lot of time in small towns where her father is from, and small villages where her mother's from. So I get to see all sides of India, and I get to show all sides of India on my YouTube channel. So yeah, that's what I try and do. I try and show like the beauty of rural life and, you know, how incredible some of the cities are. Yeah.
And awesome. You know what's funny is I've been obsessed with Goa for a long time, because you keep hearing about the beautiful beaches and you know, the beach life, and then all of a sudden a video of yours pops up and you were exploring, I think it's called the Havelock Island situation. Am I saying that right? Havelock?
Yeah, you're saying that totally right. Yeah. I think they've been renamed now. I think they've changed the English names to something else now, but yeah, Havelock Island is correct.
I mean, was that paradise or what? I mean, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and this is a part of India which is closer to Thailand than it is India, but it's very strategically important area for India. And yeah, man, when I got there, I landed in paradise, and people would not believe that this is India, and it's just absolute paradise. And that video came out so well, it went so viral, and so many people have now gone to the Andaman and Nicobar Islands just after watching that video, because, you know, I just showed how great the experience was there. That felt really good, be sending so many people there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
One thing I learned about Karl from spending time with him is he gets recognized a lot. Why do you think you get recognized so much? Like, even in America, we went to eat here in America. Me and you went with Jim, and you got recognized several times. And then when we were in Delhi, you got recognized. I guess, do you think you just have a recognizable face, or why do you get recognized so much everywhere?
It's because I connect a lot of Indians to their home. They get to like Indians in India get to see India through my eyes, and Indians living abroad get to, you know, see their homeland, and you know, I bring good memories, and what would you say it is? They get to reminisce while they're watching the videos. So yeah, I just connect everybody back to India, and I'm the only foreigner. I think I'm the only foreigner here full time who's kind of been making videos for 3 or 4 years now straight. So that helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when we were out to eat, was it just mostly Indian Americans that recognized you, or did you have any like white people that recognized you?
Mostly Indians. There was a couple of Americans though.
Oh, okay.
Usually the guys who are in like IT, and because I'm an ex-IT guy, so that they tend to enjoy my take on things and my investigations. So yeah, I met a few Americans, definitely.
And have you done a TED Talks ever?
I've done something like a TED Talk. It was an Indian version of TED Talks called Conversations Mumbai. But no, I haven't.
Saw that one.
I should do something because I've got quite a story to tell.
And I think people need to know your story. I mean, New Zealand is, if you Google the best cities to live in the world, Auckland, if I'm saying that correctly, in New Zealand shows up, I think, for the last 7 years. And I don't. You packed up and left paradise to go to a place that people normally fear and they have a bad perception of, and you just said, you know, F it, I'm going to follow my dream, my passion. I believe you had gotten fired from a music job, and it was the best thing that ever happened to you. It's just an amazing story. I mean, you could have given up, you could have gotten another job, but you said this is the perfect time for me to follow my dream. And that's what I think is the amazing story here. Is that correct? I mean, was that like the catalyst of who you became? Like you got fired from like a big time music job. I mean, you worked with, I believe, New Direction, right? That's like one of the most popular boy bands of all time. You know, 70 million albums sold. They won 200 awards. You had a lot to do with that, and you just packed up and left and moved to India.
Yeah,
That's
I got really
if I ever heard one.
disillusioned, you know, just with. Oh, sorry, go for it.
No, I was just saying that's a story right there. If I've ever heard one, I mean, that's something people need to know. You know, life's too short. You follow your dream, and that's exactly what you did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will be sitting there kind of disillusioned with their job. I sat in that chair at my workplaces, like totally disillusioned for years, thinking, you know, how can I get out of here? How can I do something on my own? How can I be self-sufficient? And what I wanted was freedom. That's what I realized at the end. I was like, what I wanted was freedom, just to live my life the way I wanted to live it and do what I wanted to do. And somehow just make enough money to survive. That's it. I don't have any, you know, I don't want to be rich. I just want enough to survive. That's it, you know? And so I was working in the music industry. This was for Sony Music, and working with all these big artists and promoting them in New Zealand. And the music industry was dying at this time. And eventually I got made redundant because the money just wasn't coming in New Zealand at Sony. And so I moved into IT. I was studying like computer science on the side. I always kind of upskill myself because I knew the music industry would die eventually. And yeah, got a job in IT, and then I lost that job as well. I got made redundant again. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, this is a sign, man. Like I've been made redundant twice now. I can't keep giving myself to working my ass off for these companies. And I felt like they don't care about me. You know, they don't care. And I just wanted to go off on my own and do what I wanted to do. And so I just gave myself 6 months. I said, Karl, you can always come back to New Zealand and get a job, but it's time you did something for you. And it's time you took a risk and just tried to make something happen for you. Like, you're lucky, you're from New Zealand, you can come back and get a job, whatever. And so during that, so I saved up a bunch of money. I've always saved. I've never been a spender or anything. And so I think I had about like 10 grand New Zealand, which might be about, I don't know, 7,000 American, maybe. And yeah, I just said, I'll spend this over 6 months and see where it takes me. And it just so happened within like that 6 months or maybe a bit later, one of my videos about India went viral on YouTube. And that was like, I was like, man, this could be a career for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that just happened. I don't want to be a YouTuber. Yeah, it felt really good. I just remember sitting there in this room that I was renting and just watching the video go viral for the first time because some kind fellow shared it on Reddit. That was the catalyst for the channel beginning. And I just said, okay, I'm going to, you know, work seriously on this and keep going. And yeah, it's blown up into, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of views and 2.5 million subscribers, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you did that Indian TED Talk, you were happy that you had 300,000 subscribers, you know? That was only a few years ago. So, I mean, you created a lot of value, and you're reaping the rewards, so it's a win-win. You're spreading the good word about India, and you're also free, you know? You have your freedom.
Yeah, that was always the goal when I said I'm going to make videos. I said I'm not going to follow trends. I'm just going to create content that helps people. That's all I want to do with my life. And that's all I ever did before in my jobs as well. Like, my job was always to help other people, whether it was musicians or whether it was in IT. So I just said, let's just help people with these videos. And I'm not going to focus too much on entertainment. I just want to help people, educate people. And, you know, it's worked out pretty well just with that goal of helping people.
Yeah,
Now,
that's awesome.
Let me just ask one question that's get off the topic for a minute. I mean, you were in the music business, and I'm a huge Jen Wigmore fan, and she comes from New Zealand. Did you ever cross paths with her?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever talked to her, but I've seen her at events, like at the music awards in New Zealand. Yeah, she really blew up in the States.
I mean, I mention her to everybody, and nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I know she's from New Zealand, and I mean, she's phenomenal. So when I found out you were in the music business, I was like, I need to ask Karl about Jen Wigmore. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I wish I knew her. She was with a different record label. She's with Universal Music.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Well, we had fun. Karl and I had a fun day. Well, I found it fun in Delhi. I don't know if Karl found it fun because he had to drive through all the traffic. And I was just the passenger. But there's a lot of like amazing. We went to, I guess you would call it, like, did you call it a tech park? Where we went?
Yeah, I took you to Cyber Hub in Gurgaon, and that is like just probably the most modern part of India. You kind of drive up to these massive skyscrapers full of tech companies, and it's like a cyber world. Like, yeah, it's like Tron, basically.
Yeah, it was super awesome. Like, I really enjoyed it. Again, I didn't have to drive, so and I was just complaining about how horrible it is. Like that. That's the main reason why I couldn't probably live in India full time, is because I like having my long, luxurious drives with my music, and you can't, at least where I went in India, you can't really have that. It's just too much traffic.
Anybody who's going to India that wants to drive, though, if you watch Karl Rock has a video, How to Drive in India. I would suggest checking that out.
Exactly. There are some massive motorways, though. So, yeah, you can go on these long drives. Once you get out of the city, it's really beautiful to drive around India, actually. The cities, the traffic is just nuts. But outside the city, it's, normal, just like the US.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why I mostly just went to cities because, it was my first time and such. But yeah, I said that in the bathrooms were the two biggest hurdles for me. If it weren't for that, I could totally move to India tomorrow. I really love India. Those are just the two things that are stopping me right now. Especially if I work from home.
Yeah, I'll take you on a road trip next time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, especially if I earned in dollars, like I worked from home. I was thinking, like, if I worked from home and I earned in dollars, I could really live well in India.
Yeah, definitely you can. Yeah, every rent is very, very cheap here.
Mm-hmm. Well, you and your wife just went to New Zealand. I was watching some of your looks like you went surfing, right?
Yeah, we go back to New Zealand once a year just so she can, experience New Zealand the way I get to come here and spend most of my year here in India. And just to hang out with my family and just build those connections. So, I took her for her first Christmas. And it was the first time, like, having a Santa sack and getting presents from Santa and leaving some food out for him the night before and decorating a Christmas tree. So, it was really, really, really wholesome. Nice. So I made a bunch of videos covering her experience.
Yeah, sounds like a Hallmark movie.
It's almost. Lifetime movie.
I want to get into the
Karl
US
Rock
next.
And his wife experienced Christmas in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, done. She loved it too. Yeah.
Has she been to the US?
No, I want to get her to the US, but oh man, you don't know the queue here to get a tourist visa is 600 days.
Oh yeah.
For an Indian. Mm-hmm. Like, how can you plan 600 days out? Oh my god! So we're just waiting for those wait times to go down, and then we'll go for it. COVID created these problems at the embassy here, basically.
Well, can she? I was wondering if if Pierogi could invite her to the People's Call Center and she could come for like quote unquote a conference, if that would allow her to come.
Yeah, I wanted to get her there for the next one, but yeah, it's not going to happen. No, it won't cut it with a conference visa. You have to go for an interview just to get any visa for the US.
Right.
So, you know, they'll grill her. You got to do it totally by the book, or she'll get banned for life type thing. So yeah, don't take any risk. We don't take any risks with that stuff.
Right.
And you guys were separated for, I mean, how many days was that? 300 something?
Yeah, I was blacklisted from India for 500 days in
500 days.
2020, yeah.
And, I mean, the community really had your back on that. There was petitions, and every time I was on Scammer Info, you were a major deal trying to sign. I don't know if that did any good or not, but I mean, a lot of people definitely, you had their sympathy, and they were watching it daily. So it was like heartbreaking when you guys finally got reunited. I mean, and of course, you've done so many wonderful things for India. For them to blacklist you was kind of a slap in the face, I would think, no?
Yeah, totally. I was very, very disillusioned. And that was the worst time of my life and the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with, being separated from my family without any warning, without any information. I got to the airport and the guy canceled my visa. And yeah, it was all over from there. And Manisha had to go to court just to find out the reasons and to find out how long the blacklisting was for. Like, we just had no information. It's really, really bad that could happen. It could just happen to my wife, for example. What if she didn't have family here? What if she was alone? And then COVID hit, right? And she got COVID really bad, and I was stuck in New Zealand away from her, and I couldn't look after her.
Oh.
Just the worst, absolute worst time of my life. And I can't talk about the reasons behind the blacklisting yet. See, the problem is, if I tell the story, there's going to be repercussions for me.
Yeah,
there'll be retaliation, and I'll be in the same problem all over again. So, the full story has to wait until it's like safe for me to be able to talk about it. I've got to be really kind of smart about it. One day it'll all come out, and I can't wait to tell exactly what happened. But right now I'm kind of, can't talk about it. It sucks.
Well,
I mean, you guys are fearless, though. I mean, you're walking around, rural areas where there's, known to be 3,000 tigers in that country. I mean, I would be scared. You're chasing scammers. You're getting chased by scammers. You're going out of the country into the country. So I mean, you're fearless. So I really feel like it's all going to work out, and I cannot wait to hear the whole story when you're comfortable telling it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just trust that good things will happen. That's all I do, and good things do happen. I did get back, and I did make use of that time wisely. I traveled to countries that I wouldn't have traveled to, so I did my best to make use of that time, and now I'm back. I've been back. I got back, what was it, over a year ago now. So I'm glad that's all behind me.
A lot of people do think you might not be able to confirm or deny this. I was just going to ask if you can confirm or deny. A lot of people do think that it's because of videos you've done with Jim Browning that led to the banishment.
No, it's nothing to do with scam baiting or anything like that.
I know that, but I didn't.
Happy with me.
Yeah, I know that, but I didn't know if you could say or not that it does not have to do with scams. I know a little bit about what happened just from hanging out with Karl. Doesn't have to do with scams. So I think that's a common misconception from the scam baiting community.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that, but yeah, I mean, as far as I know, it doesn't have anything to do with scams. But there has been rumors that scammers paid for it to happen, but I don't think that's true. I think scammers are liars, and they make stuff up to scare other people, and that's just another scare tactic they'll use with Pierogi or Jim, just to say, look what we did to Karl Rock. But I'm pretty sure it's got nothing to do with that.
Right, and it even makes some scam baiters scared to go to India, but they really don't have to be scared. I don't think.
No, as far as I know, the police are happy with the way awareness is being raised. I mean, don't quote me on that or anything, but that's just what I think personally.
Yeah. Do you feel like the scam baiting is helping then?
I don't know if it helps them or makes their job harder because now they have more work to do. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, if you can report it to the police stations, that's what people can do. You can send the intelligence. How it gets used, whether it gets used to extort money from the call center or whether it gets used properly to actually raid them, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, do you think like overall it's beneficial, the scam baiting? Because sometimes it feels like it's not, because the numbers continue to increase each year of the dollars that people are losing, It
definitely helps. There's no two ways about it, whether it raises awareness, whether it wastes the scammers' time, whether you're reporting these call centers to the police that you find, just the awareness is good. And I think what we need to focus on is to make these videos appeal to the widest audience possible, so we can somehow get older people to watch a video about scam baiting somehow. That's a challenge for us, to educate as many people as we can through our content.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, somebody pointed that out to me. They said, you have good content and it's funny, but the only people that are watching it are people that know about scam baiting. When are you going to stop saying the F word so much and try to get your stuff out to some older people? So I totally agree. But I also, to CJ's point, I do think it's growing, but I also think that, like what you said, wasting their time. I mean, you could be wasting that one person's time that was going to scam somebody out of their life savings. So I think it's always a good thing to waste their time, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, channel or not. You waste their time, and you could be saving somebody thousands of dollars.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and just look at all the media attention that there's been around scam call centers from all the work scam baiters have done. And there's been Netflix series about it, for example. These are all inspired from YouTubers, you know what I mean? Like Netflix follows what's happening on YouTube and the media follows what's happening there. And then, like news stories like Jim Browning, he's done a lot of news stories. Those get out to the right target audience who watch like 60 Minutes and all these types of shows around the world. So it's all doing good.
I think we'll see more. I think Jim Tara, if that's the one you're referring to, was Jim Tara, you think, was started because somebody saw like a YouTube type of video and then somebody decided to write a screenplay? Because I'm waiting for more videos of scam call centers to make it to Netflix. I think it's unfortunately, I think it's a huge moneymaker for the next Bollywood genre. And I've actually watched some Indian soap operas where they have people working in illegal call centers on Dangle TV on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's not exactly how you would envision it, but there's people scamming other people on the phone.
Yeah, I've read a lot about how Netflix chooses their next shows and chooses what to invest in, and it's all like analytics, right? Like what's happening on YouTube. You'll see something on YouTube, then you'll see a Netflix documentary about it, a year later kind of thing. They're definitely taking cues from it.
Yeah, and that's CJ and I always complain. I mean, there's a ton of stuff showing up in our Googles because obviously we are part of this community where we're always on our phones looking for scam information and things like that. And I'm constantly getting bombarded now with scammers are caught, and it's this person was scammed in Arkansas for $4,000 from an Amazon scammer. Please be on the lookout. And, we're happy that there's awareness now, but we're also like, it's a little too late. Like, we've been saying this for years. Why are they just getting it to the news now? So it's like a catch-22, but I guess all you can do is take the win, and hopefully the news is starting to get more aware.
Hey, I'm back.
Sorry, we had to switch Zooms because our Zoom ran out because I don't pay for them.
Oh, I've been talking and nobody was listening. That's all right. Not the
I
first.
was listening. The audience was listening.
That's all
Karl
right.
just missed some of it, but
It was just a statement more than a question or a comment. But the point is, the awareness is more prevalent now than it was in the past. Even though it might be annoying because we've been saying this for years, but at least now people are reporting it a little bit more, and it's getting into the news. And I think that's at least a good step.
Yeah, exactly. You're right.
So what are you working on next? What's your next trip or project or whatever?
Yeah, I don't plan too far in advance. I have like ideas, and then I kind of a month before I kind of plan everything. But the next video that I'm editing right now is a video game market tour. I love video games, and I love showing these old markets and these old stores that we have in India and we have in Pakistan. It takes you back to the days in New Zealand and I guess in the US where we had these like computer market, like computer meetups where you could like buy games and buy computer gear at like the library and arcades. And when we had like mom and pop run video game stores in our countries, they still have all that here in India. So I love showing that. So this guy's video game store has been run since the 80s. He started in the 80s with Nintendo Game & Watch, which was like the first Nintendo handheld console. And from there, you know what happened with Game Boy and Game Boy and all those different Game Boys that came out. So yeah, that's the next video. It's damn fun.
Oh, okay. That sounds awesome. I'm excited to watch that.
I hope I'll be back. Hopefully I'll be back in the US this year if the People's Call Center happens. If that happens, I'll be back for sure.
Yeah, for sure. A couple of questions in chat. One of them was, how does
Did you hit the like?
What?
That was the first question I saw for Karl. Did you hit the like button?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, one question was like, how does India deal with income tax? And I'm assuming that the scammers don't pay income tax. They might get paid under the table. Do you know anything about that?
Income tax, yeah. Income tax is the same as in my country, New Zealand. It's probably the same as in the US. They have different tax slabs and you have to pay tax on all your income. And the rate is quite high. I think the highest rate is like 39% if you earn over maybe $1 million American. I don't know the exact numbers, but tax is pretty high in this country. Yeah, I don't know. How do they get their money in those call centers? It has to come digitally, right? Like it's not done in cash, because if it's done in cash, it can be, kept off any records. So I'm guessing they must pay income tax, yeah. Surely they do. They'll get in trouble if they don't.
So how would they
It's
do that
probably
if
different
the money's illegal?
in different call centers. My understanding, some of them have facades. Like I know that you are big on trying to keep exposing these travel scammers that are probably close to where you live in Delhi. And they have an LLC and they work under some kind of big business where they can probably put checks with taxes. I'm sure some of the call centers that we call it's under the table.
Yeah, they all have they've all set up companies. Sorry, they've set up companies, and I'm sure they do their tax legitimately. They're earning so much money. Why wouldn't they? Wouldn't want to make that a problem.
Yeah.
And those travel scams that are, as my understanding is, a lot of them come out of New Delhi. They're hard to take down. I mean, there's even talks about don't mess with them because they'll sue you. But there's total scams. We know people that have been scammed by them. So, I mean, please keep exposing them. More on that, please.
Mm-hmm. And then another
Definitely.
question.
I've taken a little...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go for it.
No,
I've taken a little kind of break from the call center stuff because I feel like I've done so much and I've covered a lot of stuff that, I'm traveling at the moment and making a lot of different content. My channel's always been pretty like about travel, food, video games. It's always been all over the place in terms of content. But I will get back to the scam call center stuff when the time is right, for sure.
Yeah, and someone else asked, like, what's your craziest experience with scams or a scammer?
Yeah, there's a couple. After that video that me and Jim Browning made, it's a small world here in India. I know the population's like over 1 billion, but it's still a small world. And the guy who rents out the property to the scammers at the scam call center that we raided, he calls up my father-in-law and says, get your son-in-law to take that video down. These guys weren't running a scam call center. They were running a legitimate business. You know, like, so they tried to threaten me indirectly that way to take the video down, but I never did. And my father-in-law is really cool. He's really supportive. He just told the guy to get lost. He's not afraid of anybody. You should not threaten my father-in-law. It's the last person you should mess with. So, yeah, I'm lucky like that. I've got a really supportive family.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
And yeah, that was the only time they reached out directly like that. There was another time. I've covered a lot of street scams in India that target tourists. There was one time when we walked into a travel agency that was about to rip us off, except the owner recognized me and saw my camera, and he tried to swat the camera, like smash it off me. And yeah, I just had to turn and just bail, just run.
Oh my God.
You never know what's gonna happen, how serious they're gonna get. So yeah, that was the other kind of scary time when my heart was pounding a bit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you had to run for it.
Yeah, it's best not to.
Yeah, I saw you were running from a scammer and you were negotiating with a rickshaw driver. That was a pretty cool video.
Yeah, your life.
Yeah, it's always best to just try and de-escalate these situations when you get into a problem like that. Like, just don't be a tough guy. Just de-escalate and just get out of there. It's not worth it, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Totally agree.
you're pretty clear on being fearless and confronting, but the minute it gets confrontational, it's not worth getting physical. You're like, we'll just take off. So then, and that's what you do. So your channel is definitely it's for everyone to watch, and you're not telling people to go fight scammers. You're saying expose them, maybe confront them, but the minute it gets heated, that's when you take off, because it could take hours before the police come. There's beatings in the street. Sometimes it's a different way of life.
Yeah, it's very different here in India. So I got to be really extra careful, and I always have been. So
yeah. Well, I definitely want to see, like, maybe I'll just quit my job and just, like, write a movie script of your life, because it would probably be like a blockbuster. If you put all these experiences in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like, there's a lot of drama that's happened in my life, and once I feel like the story is not over yet. Like, once I can speak freely about my story, then it'll be time for TED Talks and anything big like that. Yeah, until the story's not over quite yet.
Yeah, and
right. That could be an award-winning documentary, if anything.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
And CJ, when are you coming to India next? We want to see you back in India. I loved your videos in India.
I know, I can't wait. Probably not this year though, because I went back to work, and it is like like I actually have to go to work. It's not work from home. So I have to build up some vacation time, because it does take a significant amount of time to come to India. Like, it takes, a whole day and a half of traveling. It takes another day to adjust to the jet lag. So you can't really do it in 1 week, I don't think.
No way. No, 2 weeks minimum kind of thing.
Yeah. So once I have enough vacation time, I'll definitely be back, because it's, like I said, I really wouldn't mind living there. If I was going to move there, I would live in Hyderabad. Hyderabad was my favorite. I liked Hyderabad. But I just would have to work on the driving situation. Maybe I'd have to live in the country so I could drive around, because I really enjoy driving.
No. It'll take you just a couple of hours to learn. Seriously, a couple of hours and you'll gain your confidence. the thing is here, you're driving so slow because there's so much traffic. So it's not actually that hard. Not actually that hard. It looks hard, but it's not. You're driving so slow. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, come to New York, CJ. You can practice here. Get you ready for India.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point, though. It is like backed up a lot, so it's a lot of bumper to bumper, you know. But yeah, I'll definitely go, and if anybody wants to go, I'm happy to travel with you because I know some people might feel nervous because it is quite a journey. And a little bit scary when you're by yourself and you don't know what to expect. But it's fine. There's nothing to be scared about. It's just, you know, it is a journey, though, for sure. Especially if you haven't traveled much. But I had no problems in India. Like, we only had one incident, and I've told everyone on the audience, where things escalated a bit. With I don't know if I told you, Karl, but in Calcutta we had some kids that tried to steal our wallet, and so we were like kind of wrestling them away. Yeah, they were like little girls, like around 10. We had just bought them a whole bunch of snacks because they had asked for money. We bought them a bunch of snacks, and then when we were trying to get into the Uber, they tried to steal our wallet, and they were like hanging on the car. Literally physically fighting us for the wallet, and I was terrified that they were going to get hurt. I wasn't worried about me so much, but I was worried about them being hurt because they were like hanging on the car. And other than that, I had no bad experiences. I even went into that call center. I never felt afraid there. So I think, like, you know, it's like going to New York City. You want to make sure you understand like what parts of it might be unsafe, but as long as you, you know, have some awareness, it's literally nothing to be afraid of. Like, people aren't being killed in the street or anything, you know? So.
Yeah, and that point you made about the girls, like, people don't realize girls are pickpockets too. You wouldn't think much if a girl bumps by you on the metro and you'd be like, oh, she's just trying to get past. But there's a lot of pickpocket gangs who are women because you don't expect it, right? And the thing about those beggars is it's really messed up. But they see your good nature as a weakness, and they know that because you gave that, they can get more from you and they can prey on you. It's so bad, right? Like, we don't expect that. We expect we give them something and they'll be happy and go away. No, that's not how it is. They will ask you for more, and they may even try to rob you, like happened to PJ.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Crazy.
I tried to feed somebody in New York not too long ago outside of the train station, and I said, "Yeah, I'll buy you a hot dog." And then they yelled at me because they're gluten free, so they didn't want the bun. I mean, you always try to do the good thing, and people just want more. Sometimes it happens everywhere. They take advantage of it. And then it's like, well, can you give me $5 so I can get this or that?
Beggar, basically.
It's I hear what you're saying, and actually, every time I call a call center now, especially the Microsoft scams, which is my understanding, a lot of them come out of Noida or New Delhi. There's a lot of females. It seems like more and more are doing this now, and they sound very educated. Their English is perfect, and they're hurting people. They're sitting there telling people there's hackers on their computer and they need to transfer all their money into a private bank account. It's so sad what goes on. And a lot of them are females. I mean, you can't discriminate. It's male, female, it's everyone.
You know what part of that is? Part of that is going back to the pickpockets. People trust female voices more on phones as well. And you'll even see some call centers here in India hiring only for women. Like, that's okay to do in India. It's not legal, but it happens. And you'll see signs saying, looking for female telecallers only.
Oh my God.
So, yeah. And then you have these kind of creepy bosses running, these creepy guys running a team of like 30 young women. It's just a bit gross as well.
Yeah, and wasn't there a murder where I feel like this happened when I was there, or maybe I heard about it right after I came, but I think it was happening when I was there. This boss tried to like make advances on a employee and she said no, and then they murdered her. It was like on the news, I think. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, at a call center or another job?
No, at a real job, like a hotel or something. Do you know what I'm talking about, Carl? Or it was on the news.
Yeah. There's a lot of there's this problem. Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah, and like when I was there, on the news, people were like kind of protesting or rioting against this because they were so outraged that this girl got killed over it. Like the people were outraged. The public is not tolerating it, but it's still, I guess, happened. So thank you so much.
Definitely not. And that guy will get arrested and he'll go to jail. And the jails here in India are not pleasant.
Yeah, are they? You think they're worse than American jails?
Oh yeah, definitely. Very difficult places to live. If you want to read a story like it's a semi-true story. It's called The Serpentine by Charles Sobhraj. Read that. He talks about his time in Indian jails, and he was a tourist scammer. And yeah, it's just an incredible story. And Netflix made it into a TV show called The Serpentine. But the book is 1,000 times better than the TV show. The book will have you captivated. So if you love crime and you love India, just read this book called The Serpentine.
Oh, awesome.
You just reminded me of something that I meant to talk to you about, and I know we're going to run out of time soon. There's a series out. I think it's on like Apple streaming services. Shimtaran, I think it's called. And I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's got the guy from Sons of Anarchy in it. He was like a drug smuggler, and he ended up in India in like the 80s in Bombay. I think you did a review on that, right? And you also said the book is so much better than the series.
Yeah, it's called Shantaram, and it's on Apple TV, and it's probably the most famous book, kind of true crime story that's come out of India. It's always on the top 100 must-read lists online. I went to the actual places where the book took place.
That's
because
the video.
They didn't film the TV show in India, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't filmed there, though, right? I think you said?
Nah, they were going to film it in India, but COVID meant they had to film it in Thailand. So yeah, that kind of sucked. But the book is just epic. It's it's another great read as well. It's called Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
And this is coming from somebody who does not read a lot, right? And you said it's a very easy read. So somebody like me who doesn't read a lot, I should read that book instead of trying to watch the series, even though it has my favorite actor from Sons of Anarchy in it, right?
Yeah. I don't read, but I read this book. I couldn't stop reading Shantaram and The Serpentine. So that's my recommendation. If you're like me and you love crime and you love India, it'll tick all the boxes. I guarantee.
Sounds perfect for me, and I like to read. So.
Well, you can.
You'll love it. You'll love it.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I thought I lost my audio for a second. I had to tape my cord down to my microphone, but y'all can still hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry, I thought I pulled it out. It's been so awesome having you on. Is anything else that you want to like share what you're working on, or any news or anything like that?
No, man, it's just business as normal for me. Just living in India, making videos, and just loving it.
Okay, awesome. Sorry, we lost Take. That's why the audio went out. Hold on, I'm getting him back on so he can say bye.
Cool.
I just called him from my. Hold on, trying to get him back. Are you back?
Hello.
Okay.
I'm back.
I was just telling Karl, thanks so much for joining us today. It was definitely an awesome interview for our 100th episode, and we can put you on the list. We've had Progi on several times. We had Pleasant Green on. We had Deo on several times. So we're just making our way through all the People's Call Center.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait.
I think we have like another 2 hours left with Karl.
What's that?
We have like another 2 hours left. You're saying we're taking like a little break?
Yeah.
No, so it's definitely a pleasure. I mean, who couldn't want Karl Rock on our 100th episode? It's, you know, like we said, we expose the very bad parts of India, sometimes too much maybe, but that's just what we do, and it's a very small percentage of the population. I think it's great that you're here, and your channel has over 500 videos. Most of them have to deal with the good parts of India, you know, getting food on the streets and books and meeting people, you know, how not to get scammed on the street. So thank you so much for spending the time with us. I mean, the pleasure is all ours.
For sure.
No, it's totally my pleasure. It's great to finally speak with you, Take. And I think everyone listening knows that CJ is a national treasure, and I love her dearly. So I can't wait to meet you again soon, CJ.
Yeah, I miss you a lot. We had Karl is a really great guy. If y'all didn't see it, he came and ate Indian food with me, and he made a video about it. It's supposed to be the best Indian restaurant in America, but I guess you felt like it was maybe so-so. I don't know. How would you rate that restaurant we went to?
Yeah, America can do much better, and I'm sure there's much better Indian restaurants in America than this one. Yeah.
There's a Pakistan Indian food restaurant right next to me, and I don't know what they do during cricket matches, but they work together, and they have pretty good Indian food. But I know what you're saying. It's almost like, do you think I'm going to find good pizza in Colorado if I grew up in New York? It's just not going to happen. So you're in India. You're at the heart of things. So, CJ, why would you think he would love the Indian food down where you are in Nebraska?
Yeah. But yeah, we love you a lot, and thank you so much for coming on. I hope that you'll come back again one day, so we can catch up, and then you can fill us in more on your story once you're ready to tell it.
And please get me a Hindi tutor by the end of the day. Skype. And no pressure, but it doesn't have to be by the end of the day. I'm just kidding. But anything you could do for me, I'm ready to pay. I'm ready to get a tutor. Please help me.
Yeah.
Kripia.
Yeah, just take my email address or my phone number from CJ and get in touch, okay?
All right. Appreciate it. Bahat Dhanyavad.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. We love you.
No worries.
All right.
Thank you,
thanks so much, man.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Have a good day.
All right. For Milenge.
Bye. Well, thank you again to Karl for being on. That was so much fun. I really enjoyed talking to him. He has a variety of interesting things to talk about, for sure. It's great to talk some about scam baiting and everything he's doing. So I enjoyed it.
The problem is I can talk to that man for hours. I mean, he's, you know, living the dream. He stopped his job or didn't get a new job after he was fired. It has the passion for something. He's free. That's just a small part of who he is. And we didn't get too much into the scam baiting, but I don't really think that's what we need to do. He exposes India for all its greatness, which you experienced firsthand. Yeah. And that's what we've been saying to everybody. So we get these haters sometimes that listen to our stuff that want to say all Indians are this way, all Indians are that way, but it's not true. I mean, how much more proof do you need? We have somebody who lives there, who's married to an Indian woman, who that family accepts him for who he is. It's just nonsense that we get so many haters on one country, because that's what happens to be where the scammers are. So I'm glad we had him on our 100.
Yeah, definitely.
So nice job getting Karl. That was all CJ.
Really, it was all Pierogi, because if it weren't for Pierogi, we would have met. But I'm really grateful that obviously he had me at the call center, and I got to meet Karl. I got to meet Jim as well, because they're both super great guys, for real. I'm not just saying that. Everyone there, really, honestly, I'm not just saying it. Them, Pleasant Green, everybody there was genuinely nice people. So whatever you're doing to support them, keep doing it, because they deserve it. Karl works very hard. I got to see him film his podcast. He works very hard, and that's why his videos are so good. So he deserves any support you can give him. He definitely earns it and deserves it. So keep supporting them, and we can't wait to have him. I can't wait to have him on again in the future. We can keep talking.
And I think Karl rocks at about 2.5 million subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 3 million by the end of the day.
Yeah. And hopefully when he comes, what I'm hoping is when he comes back for the People's Call Center, you will be there, or you will stop by and visit, so we can do this in person next time. Over this.
I hope so. I got to work it out with Pierogi, and I haven't talked to Pierogi. I haven't seen him in months, actually. But he's a great guy. He's been on our streams. I know he's busy. So maybe we'll work that out. We'll see what the MS has in store for me in that month. But as of right now, I'm planning on being there if I'm invited.
Cool. So we can have a sit-down in-person interview with you next time, Karl. That'll be fun. And we'll take him to Dairy Queen again. We went to Dairy Queen last time. So save up your money. You could treat us to Dairy Queen. Save up your money.
I'll wait till to start my diet till after that week then.
Yeah, you got like 6 months.
All right.
But yeah.
I'll be able to drive drunk and get away with it. And I'll just say I'm pregnant.
There you go.
Until then. Cool. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And a lot of people don't realize, I mean, he's been all over the world recently. New Zealand a couple days ago. He's in India. It's probably dinner time there. I don't know what time it is in India, 7, 8 o'clock. Not too bad, but I mean, the guy, to take time out of his busy schedule to hang out with us in the morning was just huge. I'll be on fire all day because of this morning.
Yeah,
it was awesome to speak to him.
Yeah, and thank you so much to BB, John Walker, Raz ×2, TV Systems ×3, and Bramble Rose. Thank y'all so much for the super chats today. We really, really appreciate it. The support, and thank you to all the members, to all the mods. We couldn't do it without y'all. And just being here, I know like the schedule is not, hey Dale, I know the schedule's not super consistent, and I'm struggling a bit to keep it up. But
what up, Dale?
Yeah, we really appreciate everyone when we do stream, that you all are all here and supporting the guests, and thank you guys so much.
Well said. I won't say anything else except thank you all. Thank you, Karl Rock, for hanging out with us.
We should have had like some giveaways or something for the 100th, but yeah, didn't.
No. Me being here is just enough for everyone.
I was gonna give away like
next time we'll donate a couple $100 from CJ's next big paycheck that she gets at work.
Yeah. I was gonna give one of those big checks in the amount of $1 million to somebody. Are those checks even real?
Now, are we gonna be back Thursday?
Yeah, we'll be back Thursday. We'll probably do some call-ins, some talking to scammers since we didn't have a chance, and we'll see who stops by. So it'll be fun.
Cool. Can't wait.
Yep, well, thank y'all so much for joining us, and we will see you guys later.
Bye, y'all. Vermilingue.
Love ya.
You are connected with support. How can I help you?
You're picking up the phone pretending that you want to help people, but you really want to rob them.
I want you to understand, legally and federally, I know what type of time waster you are.
Do you want people to empty their bank account?
Why would you waste my precious time?
We call scammers, and man, they say the dumbest stuff.
Go ahead, please.
Hey, do not call this number again. You have